A special dedication for AM.BUSH. Yamumo, Jamrock Records, right?
La Kalada presente, sì. A puff with
Yamu Yamo.
Dabba sound from Abruzzo. Yamumo.
So today he brought us Farmer Tom, all the way from Southern California. Nothing, just give us a little introduction of yourself and
Okay.
let us know what you do.
Well, I'm a grower. I started growing in San Diego when I was young. Our collective got rated in '99 for 448 plants. My wife saved my life that day. We moved to Washington. I wanted to put a good face on cannabis, so I made myself real available to the media. We changed laws in Washington. Today's our anniversary of legalizing concentrates through a media piece we did, a positive one on BHO. I work with the federal government. I'm a federally recognized cannabis farmer.
Okay.
And the CDC and NIOSH, I educated them on production processing of cannabis for workplace health and safety.
And so how did the process come about that you're actually one of the only people in the United States of America that's got a license, a federal license?
Well, I've got the federal blessing.
Okay.
I don't have the license. My farm's a secure location where federal agents can learn, touch, and handle cannabis.
Okay.
I don't know if that qualifies for that, but they're able to come to my farm and learn about cannabis. They plan on coming back in the next couple of years when my operation gets a little bit bigger for the second round. How did it happen? I just told you we changed the laws in Washington State.
Yeah.
Then I got recognized. Then the kid blew himself in a BHO explosion in New Mexico. OSHA got called in. They called me. I called JD from Skunk Farm Research. We gave him a little 2-hour symposium on hydrocarbons and why these kids were killing themselves.
Okay.
And we changed the laws.
Yeah.
And so we did that. And then they said we like you and your wife. You're kind of the grassroots of it started. You grow organic vegetables. You grow organic cannabis. And we feel that we want to do this first little step for worker safety on your farm. And they said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Sure." And then I got on the phone with 10 agents from the CDC, and they asked me, I asked them, how are you getting your information? And they said, well, through YouTube. And I said, that's really not fair to our industry for you not to know anything. Would you like to come, and I will introduce you to our industry? Okay. So we got to end up, I set up a bunch of places to go. A lot of places said yes, a bunch of places said no way. And then after I set it up, they got the list and they said, no, we can't do this, but we can make your farm a secure location where federal agents can learn, touch, and handle cannabis. Are you okay with that? I said, yes, you're going to have to be vetted by the Department of Justice. I said, okay, bring it on, because we're patients and we take care of ourselves, and it's more of a lifestyle than a hustle for us. Yeah. You know, and I really want to elevate the level of cannabis and put a good face on it, so that's kind of been what we do. And so they came to my farm for 2 days in August, where they saw the nutrients, and we brought in all the experts like JD, and we brought in testing people and all the professionals.
To verify everything.
Yeah, we brought in them to give them the information, because these guys are the federal government guys. They have PhDs, they're doctors and scientists and workers' health and safety. Yeah. So they came for 2 days in the summer, and then they came back in October, where I still had 10 plants. They watched us harvest in big leaf one day. Second day was all about bucking. The third day was all about trimming. They had us hooked up with scientific gear that collected the dust and the microorganisms. They also had stationary ones, and then they hooked us up for trimming with a cyber glove that tracked repetitive motion. So everybody sat there with the buds, and we trimmed it, and they collected the data. And just last week, the CDC came out and said trimming cannabis can cause carpal tunnel. The information they got was from my farm and the study they did on my farm.
Okay.
So it's kind of got a trickle effect.
Yeah, a bit of a
and it it's tricky to stay to stay in this business, because everybody can. If you don't do something that money can't buy, then you're going to be shit out of luck. Yeah. Because there's always going to be some there with money. So and for me, I've been doing it so long, I had to give back to cannabis before I took. Okay. Because I had so many of my friends go to jail, die through court cases. Also, we would have the honor to be here and do this.
Yeah.
So I'm the guy that makes sure that, hey, I'm going to give, because the money will come.
Yes, you know.
The money will come.
Yeah.
You do the right things and put a good example and be a good representative for cannabis. Cannabis will love you and pay you back.
Very
So I'm just really blessed
So-
that I've had all these opportunities. And
Excellent. And so, obviously you've been growing cannabis for a very long time. How did this all begin?
well,
When did you begin?
I'm a surfer skateboarder from San Diego, California,
Okay.
and we smoked weed. That's what made the whole action sports
California.
movement. When I was a kid, I was in the first Ocean Festival with the Dogtown Z Boys and was
Yeah.
smoking weed with those guys that day, during with Jay Adams and Tony Alva and all those guys. So it just evolved, you know. I was always the weed guy. I may have not been the best surfer or the best skateboarder, but I always had the best weed.
Yeah.
And I had a good time doing it. So
Just evolved from there.
yeah, and it just evolved from there. My weed was my passion. You know, my mom, my mom was a doctor and a surgeon, so she wasn't able to breastfeed me. We all know we get cannabinoids from mother's breast milk.
Yeah.
Well, I was deprived of that, and so the first time I smoked cannabis at 12, it was like, holy shit, I found my missing link.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is it. And then I just chased
Yes.
cannabis. It's just been my heart and soul and my passion my whole life, and I owe everything to cannabis. And
So, back in the day, what were the strains that you used to mess around with?
well, we had a bunch of the local Mexican sativa strains. We had some strains out of South America. They came in like Panama Red and those types of things, and Acapulco Gold. We saw Thai stick come
Okay.
over, so we would get random Thai seeds.
Yeah.
Just a collection like that.
And you
And
started
I-
off from that?
You know, actually, just last summer we recovered a box that from Santa Cruz in the 1970s with 200 of the 6 most rarest strains in the world in it, and it's going to be under my name. We're going to run the old school strains, and we're going to start with the original building blocks.
Wow.
So I'm super excited about that project. One of my buddies said, oh, he was his business manager. He said, come to my farm and you guys can stay here while you're staying in town. So, you know, I'm pretty cheap, so I couch surf to get around.
Yeah.
And we went there and he brought out some right this second,
Yeah.
and you don't even know it.
That's
You
what's
know,
called,
I mean,
right?
you've got the base core genetics of everything that's happened. You know,
Very
and to have those, so we're working with a few different groups to find the right ones. So we're doing small numbers of seeds and sprouting and, you know, popping them so we can find the perfect way to do them, you know.
And growing, do you have your own type of methodology of growing, or
No, I'm just
do you
old school.
prefer-
I'm just old school organic. I grow vegetables, so we grow everything the same way. We're really into remineralization because that's where you
Okay.
get your flavors and terpenes from.
Okay.
So we remineralize everything. You know, I'm a big foliar feeder to get them to get big, and then we stop and basically the same deal. We sugar them and, you know, feed them microbes and the whole.
Everyone's
basic-
got their own little recipes.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
It's very normal.
Yeah.
And at the moment, do you have any kind of strains that you prefer out there, or what are
Well-
your flavors that you enjoy most these days?
Well, you know, since I've been over here, the guys from Barcelona came to my farm a few years ago, and they talked my wife out of some seeds, and they came up with a pretty good strain that they sell over there at Greenardos,
Okay.
and it's called Farmer Tom's Amnesia Cut,
Okay.
and it has a pretty unique flavor, and I've been enjoying it while I'm here. It's like a sweet amnesia.
Okay.
It's a cross between my Power Kush and the Amnesias
Wow.
that we've had for a long time.
Okay.
And then, so that, and then I like Black Wreck, which is a cross between Black Durban and Trainwreck. And then I like, what else am I smoking this year? Oh, I like Albert Walker,
Okay.
which is one of my, I got the original cut on that, and then we did a cannabis cup in Washington. It was a grower's cup, where I grew 150 of them and spread them out to all the growers. That and my Cinex.
Wow.
Well, that was just to make sure it stayed out there. The genetics stayed out there because they were so good. So I just flooded everybody with them. You know what I mean? All right.
Another question. Is it your first time in Spain?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what did you think about the Spanibus and Spain in general, or Barcelona?
Oh, I've had an amazing time. You know, I've just been really well taken care of. The people are amazing. The Spanish people and the culture are really amazing. I love all the foods, the jamon, like everything.
Tapas,
you know, the tapas. We had tapas today. Even the beer, and I'm an IPA guy. I like the dank stuff.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a rough turnover, but you know, not bad. You know.
Okay.
I like the claret. You know, it works a little bit with some
And
nice
about the
food.
Spanibus, what do you think?
Oh, I love Spanibus. Yeah, it was definitely it brought the whole world together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we got to meet here and hang out and share stories and. You know, and
did you see any old friends?
Oh yeah, I do a lot of shows for years and years and years. So I saw a lot of people that I know. I'm really good friends with the Weed Maps team.
Okay.
They did opening day of Washington State. They toured my farm, and me and Gil are good friends. And I know those guys pretty well. And yeah, so I got to, and the Granardos team, you know, opened up the door, been really super hospitable. So that's kind of been my home plate. And we, you know, Blue Eyes thought he'd take me out and show me the very cool places. And I love your spot here, man.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
So, and the kalada, I'm sure obviously Edo brought you here to the kalada. But what was the kind of vibe you got walking in the door when you, as a social club? Because I know America obviously has got dispensaries and it's a bit of a different way of that cannabis is available to people.
Yeah. Well, we have places that you can smoke, but you can't buy.
Okay.
And a lot of these places are super gray area. They'd rather pay the fines to keep it open, to have a spot.
To let people smoke.
To let people smoke, than to shut down.
Okay.
So there's a couple of those places around. There's one in Portland that's totally legal, and then there's one in Olympia, Washington, and I think there's a couple in LA, but LA's going through California's going through this whole gray area and this switch over and total confusion, you know, just like we saw in Washington and Oregon. It takes a while for us to all level out, and then to really see the playing field, you know, what the real numbers are going to be. You know, everybody gets into this industry thinking they're going to make a lot of money, and you know, traditionally you can look at every farmer in the world and generally they're not the ones making the money.
Yeah.
You know, they do it more for the love and the passion
more
of
modest living people.
Yeah, and you get your hands in the dirt and it's more solid lifestyle. And, you know, I need a balance. You know, I'm out on the road, I'm promoting cannabis, but then I go back to the farm and it's planting and getting things ready for summer, and you know, I not only cannabis, but I do vegetables, tomatoes, melons, everything. So.
And so your company, what does it promote? Your business, what is your future? What do you think you're going to be doing, evolving?
Well, my goal has always been to help small farmers stay on their farm. So I've been involved forever, and I'm a pretty good grower, and everybody, I'm looking for my lane, you know. A guy found me in 2011 and said, "You want to be the first guy to put his name and likeness on a cannabis product from Nike?" And I said, "Well, hell yes." And he goes, "Everybody says it's you, everybody says." So I kind of just rolled with that. And so I built a brand that people trust, and I work with the federal government, and I've done all these things, so I have a lot of open doors to me. And my deal is I want to help small craft farmers get their product to the market. So I came up with my own grading system. So you go into the store and everything's A grade, but I think everything needs a number. You know what I mean? So people, you know, not everybody wants to smoke the 90s. You know, they may want to smoke a 70 that day. You know what I mean? They got work to do. They got stuff to do. That's my goal. You know, to get products out there. I've got soil and nutrient lines that were. You know, it wasn't until this year that the federal report, and I have my own web page on the federal government website. I think it's up right here.
amazing, actually, to
Yeah,
this day.
I still pinch myself
Yeah.
and go, how the hell did it happen? But everybody told me I was going to federal prison, and I just put my blinders on and trusted my heart and knew I was a good person and just keep going.
Yeah.
To get in anywhere in this industry, if you listen to everybody, you're off track.
Yeah.
But if you keep your blinders on and just stay in your own lane and just do your own lane as best as you can do your own lane, it's touchdown, you know?
Do you have any advice for any new growers that have started growing and they still a little bit in the limbo stage and learning? Do you have any kind of advice you want to give them, or
Just keep growing. You learn more every year. You learn more with every crop. So
No,
do your
right.
best, but
No,
get some good information from a solid person, and grow as organically and clean as possible. Because at the end of the day, organic is going to be where it's at. Everybody eats organic. Everybody's going to want to smoke organic. That's the way it goes. You'll have better concentrates. You'll have better flour the whole way around.
yeah. What do you think about liberation of cannabis
Yeah.
and being regulated? That is actually the
there's-
same process that's going
Yeah,
on in the world
there's you know, it's
in different parts of the world.
it's harder for the people who've been doing it for a long time. If it can keep people from going to jail, and you get a home grow out in the same deal. So if you can be like California, where you can grow 6 plants, anybody and everybody can grow 6 plants, and there's a regulated market. Shit, I can grow 6 plants that'll last.
Yeah.
6 of my plants. It lasts me a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like seriously. So I think that's a reasonable amount, and if you let the people home grow, they're going to be able to home grow, and they're going to be able to take care of the patients who can't afford the retail prices.
Okay.
So there's got to be some gifting involved in the law, and then there's got to be some homegrown component of the law.
Yeah.
And then that makes the people feel more okay with it.
Yeah.
So if it's just no home grow,
Yeah.
no sharing, no nothing, you got to buy it all from the store, well, the people don't like it, because then they know the government's being greedy,
Yeah.
and they really don't care about the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
You know, so
Do you have any shout outs or anyone you want to say?
I want to shout out
Thank
to
you
the
too.
Granardos, Team Granardos, all my homies over there in Washington, and yeah, just it's good. It's great to be over here in Barcelona. I love your guys' club here.
Thank you very much.
It's really a pleasure to be here, and I'm enjoying myself immensely. So I'm super excited. I'm going to the soccer game on Sunday. Woo! I get the full experience.
That's for sure.
No, I'm super excited.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir.
And I hope to see you back very soon.
Oh, I will.
Ganja buena, ganja santa, voy a la calada cada día para probarla. ¿Cuál es la ganja que manda? Levántame le manos si te gusta fumarla. Ganja buena, ganja santa, voy a la calada cada día para probarla. ¿Cuál es la ganja che manda? Levántame la mano se ti gusta fumarla. Stanti subito è quelli che gli piace de fumarla. Stanti subito è quelli che gli piace a coltivarla. Stanti subito è quelli che gli piace de rollarla. Non capisco come e perché bisogna spacciarla. Ogni giorno a Barcellona tappa fissa alla calada. Critica alle scanche kush tutta la serata. Qua a casa di Mattia fumar toda la mañana. Ed ogni giorno prego che sia così pure in Italia.
Con AM.BUSH fumo erba buona, giù la calada solo erba buona. Barcellona fuma erba buona, ganja garantita dal controllo qualità. Con AM.BUSH fumo erba buona, giù la calada